Hello, Serge here from the back porch. We have a question, and it comes from Leo. And Leo says, how can you duplicate your practice swing, in parentheses, which feels as if it's perfect, and use it as your real swing? I take good practice swings, but don't always apply it to the one that counts. Thanks, Leo. Okay, Leo, I think the first thing we have to look at is that many people, when they say they can make good practice swings and that they can't hit the ball, they stop blaming the ball. The ball is incorrectly not the real blame. The real blame is usually your target, all right? And you might say, well, how can a target be to blame? Well, you know, I can stand here and say I'm hitting to the camera. I could be standing this way and making great practice swings and they feel perfect, all right? And then just walk right into the ball with that same setup, aimed in my case way out to the right. And then now if I make that same swing, that ball is going out there into the boondocks in the right, or right field, you know, towards the right field line or like right field bleachers. And even if I hit it really good, make a good swing, hit it really good, the object is going to, you're still going to say, geez, I hit that, that was terrible, man. What happened? I pushed it, I blocked it or whatever. And if it had a little curve to the right on it, you might say I cut it or sliced it also. And conversely, you could be out there and then kind of come in here and do this and end up falling backwards because you're trying to pull it back, trying to hit it straight to the target. If your brain senses that you're aimed right and you aimed out to the right and you got to pull it and you have to pull it back to hit it to the target, and pulling back will likely, as you pull across, your arm hits the body and falls backwards. And it says, and then your brain, and when you fall back, you say, oh wow, look at that awful swing, man. I lost my balance and everything. But what did it come down to? It came down to the big A, alignment was off. So that's basically the first #1 issue. And then secondly, again, you could be standing there and making really kind of, you know, mediocre practice swings, but because you're swinging a little less, you know, a little less muscle tone, you're not really actively engaged muscles, or not really hitting the ball at impact. The swing could feel fairly balanced, but again, if you get up to the ball and you finally, when you engage your muscles and get athletically ready to hit it and put that energy level to hit it, and you start maybe pulling across the ball or something, that the same movement that you were making in that practice swing that felt pretty balanced and pretty good now becomes bad, and it can cause really bad balance problems. So you have to make sure that perfect practice makes perfect, that your alignment is correct, the way you want to swing. If there's sidehill lies issues involved here, that you set up on those lies beside where the ball is so you can feel how that's going to happen, what's going to happen in that swing, and if balance issues will come into play, and that you could be prepared for them and to hit the good shot. And then ultimately it comes into setting up correctly and in the proper posture, grip, stance, posture, and alignment, because the setup determines the motion. And then ultimately, as far as the motion goes, I think the key is if you've made that good practice swing and you set up properly to the ball in your practice swings to make sure that you are in fact swinging towards your target and everything else, and then you apply that in your real setup. The whole key is that the swing you felt that you liked when you finally said, okay, now I can get the ball to hit it. When you walk in, the whole key is just to replicate the feeling of that swing. There's no mechanics. If you have mechanics, you can't have touch and feel. And if you have touch and feel, there's no more mechanics. So if you were thinking of some mechanics in that practice swing and it felt pretty good, then just step back up to the ball and swing the feel. Okay? So feel good swings in the practice swing, but make sure the setup is correct, and that's the only other way you're going to get to feel the swing. Because we're in a way, we're all feel swingers, but as feel swingers, we can never forget that it's good mechanics, good setup fundamentals that will allow those good feels to come through. So feel the practice swing, then swing the feel, but you got to have those mechanics, the setup fundamentals, and when you got those, you will feel that good swing when everything's correct, when you finally set up the ball to make the real swing. Well, that's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.